It was here. It was right here in front of Cleveland Browns Stadium that Cleveland's own Mike Polk Jr. exasperatedly turned, looked, and yelled, "You are a factory of sadness!" That negative narrative has been playing out both nationally and locally long before those words the comedian spoke echoed throughout the internet. But I'm here today in front of the same Brown Stadium and in front of the Indians ballpark and in front of the Cavs arena. I'm here to say enough. Enough, Cleveland sports fans. Enough with the negative narrative that has plagued us, that has hovered over us like a dark cloud. It's time that we take it back, that we celebrate all the amazing history that we have, that we shout about our history as well as our future, that we don't let the negative narrative of a factory of sadness define us anymore. It's time to remember. It's time to remember Jim Brown running over defenders, Bernie Kosar's sidearm, Josh Gordon's amazing season, even the DeQuell Jacksons and the Jerome Harrisons of our recent past, the Joe Haydens, the Joe Thomases, even the would-be possibility of Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, all the things that make our past, our present, and our future of Cleveland Browns football something to celebrate. To talk about Rocky Calavito, Bob Feller, us starting a trend of locking up your young talents in Carlos Baerga, Kenny Lofton, Sandy Alomar, and so many others in the early 90s. And even the days of C.C. Sabathia and Cliff Lee, Victor Martinez, a healthy Grady Sizemore, to celebrate a player whose play inspired the nickname Dirtbag, Jason Kipnis. Come on, is there a better blue-collar nickname than Dirtbag? We should be telling our family members, co-workers, and neighbors about Mark Price, Larry Nance, Brad Doherty. Yeah, it's kind of weird to see him broadcasting about NASCAR. But go back even further to World B. Free, Austin Carr, Campy Russell. We get to look back and forward to LeBron James, to Kyrie Irving, to Kevin Love, and all the memories we have and will make with them here in Cleveland. And even with all of those great memories and all of those things to look forward to, that isn't what makes Cleveland sports. You, me, we the fans make Cleveland sports great. There are two things that will never change about Cleveland sports. That's the Cleveland on the jerseys and the passion of the fans in the stands. It's you, the tailgating, painted up, costume wearing, dog bone chewing fan that has sold out every single Cleveland Browns game since they've returned in 1999. It's you, Browns fan. You make Cleveland sports. You packed the house, this house, the Q, even after LeBron left. When he came back in that Miami uniform, you let him hear it. You let him know that you're either with us or you're against us. You let him feel the wrath. You let him feel the true fandom of Cleveland. And now that he has returned, that kid from Akron, now that the front of the jersey says Cleveland Cavaliers, you will show him what it means all over again to play in front of the greatest fans in the world. And if you want to make some of the worst enemies you can on Twitter, go after the Indians, because Indians Twitter is the Wild Wild West. And if you're not in the tribe, they're gonna own you. So I stand here in front of our three stadiums to remind you of our identity, of who we are. We're one of few cities to support 3 major sports franchises, plus the Gladiators and a bunch of college and semi-pro teams. Fans, front offices, players, the media, they all know us for our passion, our love, and our dedication. That is who we are. That is Cleveland sports. And that same love travels all the way down 71 to here, to the Ohio State Buckeyes, to the glorious place, to the shoe. Let's put away that old narrative. As I came back up 71, I'm bringing with me the new narrative. It's the same narrative we've celebrated with the Buckeyes since forever. It's a new narrative of Cleveland hope, of a focus, not on a factory of sadness that impacts Cleveland, but a factory of sadness that opposes others. We take with us from this shoe, this shining example in Columbus, we bring it back up 71, back to our town, to Cleveland. So no longer are we defined by the fumble, the shot, the drive, the decision, the letter. No longer are we just content to wait for next year. No longer are we the factory of sadness for Cleveland. It is time to change the narrative. No longer will we be sadness. No longer will we just experience sadness. Instead, we'll be a factory of sadness for those who oppose us, for our opponents. We will no longer embrace the media's idea that we are some beaten down group. We will celebrate that which is good, positive, and right with our teams. Every factory creates something. It's time for us to create something new. Our rich history has made us strong. LeBron said in his letter that nothing in Northeast Ohio is given, it is earned. You have earned this, Cleveland sports fan. I've earned it. I'm done. I'm done with the negativity. I'm done with the attacking, the snarky, sarcastic, bitter-filled fandom that has permeated the last couple generations here in Cleveland. It's time we change the narrative. This is Cleveland. Oppose us, and you reap sadness on your own head. My name is Jared Mueller. I'm the editor of Dog Pound Daily and Factory of Sadness. Factory of Sadness, the narrative has changed. Sorry, Mike Polk Jr. Your factory, your version of the factory is closed. No longer is the sadness us, but that sadness will be for those who oppose us. Not only am I the editor of Dog Pound Daily and Factory of Sadness, but I'm also licensed with the state of Ohio as a counselor. And some may say I'm crazy as a Cleveland sports fan, but I know you, Cleveland sports fan. We might be a little nuts, but we love our teams. We're passionate and we're dedicated. And that's what makes us. That's why we are Cleveland.